Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In the most recent chapters of One Piece, we've gotten multiple answers about things we've wondered about for years, but it's also left us with so many more questions. And now that we're in the final saga of One Piece, there are several characters that have a great mystery behind them, and they're gaining much more focus within the story. One of the mysterious characters that's probably at the top of every fan's list is of course ImSama, who for a long time remained a villain and practically a non-existent focus. In fact, they've only appeared in extremely necessary and rare moments just recently in One Piece in terms of the whole narrative of the story. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the great secrets that have been revealed during some of these more recent chapters of One Piece, especially about ImSama, and why ImSama is considered as a deity above even the Gorosei. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like, and even subscribe, and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it keeps motivating us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, ImSama is a mysterious and extremely important character within the work of One Piece. Now, although their appearance and identity remain shrouded in secrecy, their influence and position in the plot is absolutely crucial, and is possibly one of the final obstacles that Luffy and the revolutionaries will have to overcome in order for their goals to be realized about changing the world. ImSama is the supreme leader of the world government, a political organization that governs the world in One Piece, and they are the highest representative of world power and hold absolute authority over the world government, the Marines, the world nobles, Cypher Pole, the SSG, and even the Holy Knights. ImSama is kind of revered or believed to be the embodiment of the world government themselves, personifying power and control over the world, and all of the world government's laws and actions are based solely on ImSama's will. Now, ImSama's true identity is currently unknown, but there are multiple ideas that suggest that they could be from the Void Century and a very ancient kingdom, or even a being who is a supernatural entity. Now, the fact that ImSama is always depicted wearing a cape and a crown, as well as being shrouded in shadow, adds an even greater air of mystery to this character. ImSama's importance to the plot of One Piece is linked to the world government's plan to preserve its ideology and hide secrets that could upset the existing balance of power, and they are responsible for making crucial decisions, such as ordering the execution of important figures, or even eliminating any threat to world stability. Furthermore, ImSama is involved in ancient secrets that date back to the history of the One Piece world, even back as far as the Void Century. And it's known that they've tried to keep the existence of the poneglyphs hidden, but especially the road poneglyphs, because these special articles contain valuable information about the Great Kingdom, as well as truth about the Lost Century and how to find the final island, Laftin, where many people have speculated that that is the actual home of the ancient kingdom. In their effort to keep the many poneglyphs hidden, for instance, the ones being studied in Ohara, it indicates this unquestionable knowledge and influence that ImSama possesses, an ability to silence anyone they want just to keep the true history completely hidden from humanity. And although ImSama's story is yet to be fully explored in One Piece, it is undeniable that they are one of the most important and enigmatic characters in the world. Their existence and role in the plot provide an added dimension of complexity to the world of One Piece, adding an element of mystery and intrigue that continues to fascinate all of us fans of the series. In these current chapters of One Piece, there have been many ideas that have been revealed to us, such as ImSama being one of the 20 legendary founders of the world government, in addition to being the first person which they undeniably prove the veracity of the ability to achieve eternal life through either being some kind of mystical being, or even perhaps that eternal youth surgery that's offered by the Ope no Mi. As we know, this powerful devil fruit is regarded as the ultimate fruit. Now, it's really important to note that the Ope no Mi grants the ability and gift of immortality, not invulnerability. So even if somebody gets the eternal youth surgery and doesn't die or age, they still remain vulnerable to losing their life in conventional ways, such as being attacked or shot in any other way that they could normally die. But it's precisely because of this peculiar condition that the Ope no Mi is revered as the ultimate devil fruit, because it possesses a bounty on par with that of a Yonko, and that's just a single devil fruit. So thanks to the extraordinary immortality that could have been granted by this fruit to ImSama, they remain alive to this day, being practically venerated as the supreme deity and divine entity, being above even the ruling gods known as the Gorosei. And as long as the great world government continues to exist, ImSama will remain the reverend entity whose influence and authority are absolute and indisputable, because no one in the world will have the ability to thwart their wishes, being a person who possesses the absolute order above all beings on that planet. If it turns out that ImSama is one of the 20 founders, they would be living proof of the eternal life granted, and it gives them a unique status that actually almost clothed them in an aura of indescribable mystery, because having lived that long would give them a transcendent wisdom and an immeasurable power, which is obviously celebrated by the Gorosei, because they recognize them as the incarnation of the ruling deity. Through that incredible eternal usurgery obtained through the former wielder of the Ope no Mi, they just sacrificed their life so that ImSama could live eternally. And now they live, ruling from the shadows, shaping the world government's unswerving destiny, completely manipulating every being, both human, fishman, Lunarian, and any other special race throughout history. Now, according to an interesting idea out there in the One Piece community, the D clan are an ancient lineage whose members have names beginning with this cryptic letter, and they are the ones that pose a threat to ImSama's goals from the past, because these D clan members are individuals and they're believed to have significantly interfered in crucial events and have challenged the authority and plans of the supreme leader of the world government, perhaps multiple times over the intervening centuries. And with confirmation that the D clan might have actually been a huge hindrance in the past, ImSama makes a point of making it very clear that they hate them, and one of the main goals shown by him is to take the lives of all D clan members who are still alive, and also potentially play a large role in the world of One Piece. For example, Luffy, Teach, and even Vivi. Over the centuries, ImSama would have witnessed the emergence of countless D clan members who have caused turmoil and shaken the status that they have cultivated for so many years. So these D clan members, with their endearing personalities and unwavering determination, represent a real stumbling block for ImSama and their grand vision for ruling the world. Just consider how some of the current D clan members have become real obstacles to ImSama's plans. Vivi, Luffy, and Teach completely stand out because Vivi, as the Princess of Alabasta, is known for her courage and dedication to her people, and it is her determination to defy oppression and fight for justice that has pitted her squarely against ImSama's hidden ambitions. Now, whether it's because of the simple fact that Vivi is a descendant of Nefertari D. Lily, who was the first Nefertari who would rise to the position of world noble during the Void Century, or for just having the D in her name, or for getting in ImSama's way, the Nefertari family has always been branded in ImSama's memory, and they've always looked to end that family's lineage. But first, we still really need to know if they really had the D in their names all those many years ago. Next, let's talk about Luffy, who's the famous captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. Now, he's a free spirit and he's incredibly daring, and in his quest for freedom, coupled with his influence in the Great Age of Pirates, he is a direct affront to the idea of a supreme governing body, putting him squarely in ImSama's crosshairs. And now with his awakening, and Luffy has become the joy boy of this generation, this is a title that definitely threatens ImSama's existence, and those two characters may in fact have a sordid past. Finally, let's talk about Teach, also known as Blackbeard. Now, he is a mysterious and ambitious figure, and his quest for power, as well as his ability to manipulate circumstances, have the potential to destabilize the order that ImSama so wants to preserve. Now, Teach has his own mysterious background, and it could in fact be directly linked to ImSama, and it's for that reason that ImSama has kept a watchful eye and an attraction to Teach and what they're doing in the world. So continuing with the idea, it suggests that the D clan's existence and their past actions were a direct interference in ImSama's plans, which led the supreme leader of the world government to wish to eliminate all D clan members who oppose him. By eradicating this defiant bloodline, ImSama intends to ensure the perpetuation of their supreme rule, as well as ensure that no other obstacle will ever dare to question their authority, completely wiping out those who carry the D in their name, most especially the leader of the revolutionaries, Monkey D. Dragon. If we observe how the Gorosei consider ImSama as someone above them, this has to mean that ImSama really could be a historical figure, being in fact one of the founders of the world government. However, for some unknown reason, they choose to hide their identity, possibly due to a mistake that they made in the past that could harm their credibility to this day. Somehow, ImSama plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of power within the world government, and their immortality grants them a unique perspective and undeniable influence in the decisions made by the Gorosei. The wisdom accumulated over the centuries, as well as their imposing presence, make them a leader both revered and feared by those who know of their existence. The divine figure represented by ImSama, together with the Gorosei, embodies the absolute power within the magnificent world government, and its existence perpetuates perpetuates the belief in a higher order, a supreme government that transcends the limits of ordinary human existence. Now, while the gift bestowed by the Ope no Mi is definitely something that gives one immortality and could be viewed as a very big plus, it also does come with a curse, because ImSama bears that perpetual burden of eternity, witnessing the passing of centuries and observing the changes of the world with their own unaging eyes. And since they rule from the shadows, there are many things in the world that have to happen that they may have absolutely zero ability to change. And it could, over many hundreds of years, become something just infuriating or just absolute downright maddening. And this might be one of the reasons why they are so dead set on stopping it from happening this time. So with all that said, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about it. First of all, do you think ImSama was one of those original 20 kings that founded the world government? And is it really that unbelievable eternal youth surgery from the Ope no Mi that allows them to have lived this long? And also, do you think the Gorosei have also gone through that surgery, just maybe at a later point? There have been many ideas, and even here on this channel, we've speculated that perhaps the incident in God Valley, or the thing that took place in God Valley, was the bestowing of that power, that perhaps once the world government got the fruit back in their hands and had a willing sacrifice, that was where some of these world nobles obtained their immortality and godhood. Next, what do you think ImSama's ultimate aim is, and what are they after? And do you think there could be something between Blackbeard, or at least Roxty Zebek, and Im? And finally, this might be a wild one, but stay with me. Do you think there could even be a connection between ImSama and Dragon? Because what if, since their identity is quite hidden, could they eventually or occasionally go out to interact with people just to have a different contact, because nobody really knows who they are? And perhaps is there even a darker tale there? Let us know what you think about all that in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video today, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Be sure to comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.